Welcome to the Blackboard Original Student Training Series. In this video, we will cover the basics of Test and Blackboard Original. To begin, within your course, navigate to the Content area, Learning Module, or folder that contains your test and click the title of your test to access it. So here I'm going to click on Content, go into the Week 1 folder. I'm going to scroll down and locate my test. This one is Quiz 1, Chapter 1. I'm just going to click it, and now I can see the test instructions. Now, prior to starting your exam, you want to make sure that you read all of the instructions carefully so that you are fully aware of the test requirements and settings. So in this case, I can see that this is a timed test and I have 1 hour to complete it. The test will automatically save when the time expires. And since forced completion is not turned on, the test can be saved and resumed at any point until the time is expired. However, the timer will continue to run if I leave the test and come back. So now that I'm aware of all the test settings, I'm going to go ahead and click Begin. And then the test will appear. Now, since this is a timed exam, I can see it here at the very top that my timer has already begun. And so I'm going to go ahead and scroll down and begin answering my questions. So here I have my first question, which is a multiple choice question. I'm going to make sure that I thoroughly read the question and review all the answer choices and select the appropriate one. So if I notice here on the right hand side, if I give it a second, I can see that this answer has automatically been saved for me. So I'm going to just go ahead and scroll down to my next question. Now this right here is an essay question, and I'm not really sure of how to answer this question right now, so I'm actually going to skip this one and come back to it in a second, and you'll see why. Here I have a short answer question. So I have a little text box here. I'm going to look at my question, and then once I'm ready to respond, I'll just begin to enter my response here. Same thing here. If I wait a second, I can see that my response has been saved. I'm going to scroll down to question number 4. So this is a file response question where I have been asked by my instructor to upload a PDF as my response to this question. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click Browse Local Files. I'll then go through my documents to find a PDF, and I'm going to just select this one right here. I'm going to click Open, and then I can now see that my file has been attached to this question. Now, if I needed to switch files, I could definitely click Remove right here, or if I needed to add additional files, I could then click Browse Local Files again and select another file to submit. Now I'm going to go back to the very top, and I can see here I have my question completion status. Now you'll notice that these three, questions 1, 3, and 4, have a dark gray look. That's because those have been answered and saved. And I'll see that question number 2 has not been answered. So as you're going through your test, of course, if you have more questions than 4 questions on your exam, and you want to make sure at the very end that you have answered all of those questions, you can come back to the question completion status bar at the very top, which is right under your timer, and then you'll see which questions have and have not been answered. So now that I know I have not answered number 2, I can click on it, and it's going to drop me right to it, where I can then begin to answer that question. Now, question number 2 is a essay question, which is why it has a larger text box here. And any of these text features that I need at the very top, I can use them. So if it's like a math question, I can use the math functions. If I needed to attach files, I could. If I need to upload a video, I could as well. But for this example, we're just going to go ahead and type in here, begin entering your response. And you'll see as I was typing, it actually automatically saved my response. If I type in some more, you'll see at the very top that it's continuing to save my responses. Okay, so now that I am done, I can see at the very top that I have answered all of my questions. They are all now dark gray, and they have all been saved, and I am ready to submit. So I'm going to go ahead at the very bottom and click Save and Submit. It's going to ask me, are you sure that I want to submit it? I have checked my question status completion areas to make sure that I have answered all of my questions and I am ready to submit. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now a confirmation page has appeared. I can see that my test has been saved and submitted. I can see the time and how much time I used on the exam as well. Now that I want to review my responses, I'll click OK. And the information that you will see on this page here will vary based off of what your instructor has decided that they want you to see. So I can here again see my name, the course, the test that I took, the time that I started, and the time that I submitted it. I can see that this one needs to be graded, and that's because this particular exam has questions that need to be manually graded by the instructor, like the essay question and also my file response that I had to upload. But I can see here that for question number 1, I got 2 out of 2 points. I can see for question number 2, which was again that essay question, it needs to be graded. I didn't get to question number 3, which was a short answer one correct. And again, question number 4 needs to be graded by my instructor. So I would not see any feedback from my instructor or any grade from my instructor until they have been able to go in and manually grade the exam. Now, I do want to point out that when you're taking the exam, should you encounter any issues, you want to make sure that you do notify your instructor of that immediately. And if you can take a picture of the screen and the error message that has appeared on the screen, that will be really beneficial for your instructor to be able to further help you should those issues arise.